Hello everyone. In this class we are going to see module 3 concept of operating system subject with subject code 17CA64. In the previous video lecture we seen some of the topics of deadlocks. Also we covered topics related to memory management and memory management strategies, swapping and paging concept we seen in the previous video lecture. In this today's video lecture we are going to see structure of the page table and segmentation concept. Textbook we have to refer for this concept is this one, Operating System Principle 7th edition. Here, before going to this structure of the page table and segmentation concept, we will just going for brief about again paging. We already discussed that in previous video lecture, but we are going for that concept in brief. Here we have CPU. CPU will ask that particular process for execution purpose. That means CPU process present in main memory is sent to CPU for execution purpose. Here this is secondary memory and this is your primary memory or main memory. Secondary memory we have lot of process, that some of the selected process coming to your main memory. Here a lot of process is there. I considered, for example, I considered here 1, 2, 3, 4 process is there. Just for example, actually it contain lot of process, but I consider only 4 process is there in secondary memory. But size of the memory, primary memory is or main memory is less, so I can take some of the process here. So how to take that process inside this main memory? Here concept is actually entire one process we are going to take in your main memory, but that is a contiguous process. Contiguous process means your complete memory is we are going to divide as some blocks, fixed block, and your one process we are going to move, one entire process we are going to move in one block. That is called contiguous process. We are not dividing anything in the process, just moving entire one process in the one block. That is called contiguous process. Here we are going to get internal fragmentation and external fragmentation problems that we already discussed in the previous class. So that is the video lecture. Here concept of paging is one process is there, that process we are going to take. I taken here one of the process I taken here, that process we are going to divide. That means we are going to making some blocks in that process, dividing, and each block of that process is called page. Each block of that process is called page. We don't know how many number of blocks or pages are there, depend on process. You can see here we have small process, we can maximum we don't know how many, that is depend on OS, operating system will divide that. So here we have some pages, but while comparing second process, here we have lot of pages. You can see the size. Again comparing third page, here somewhat less. Here again large size. Again we are having lot of pages in that fourth process. Like this, we are dividing this entire process in page like blocks. That is called, each block is called page. Here that process is there in secondary memory, so we are dividing that entire process in blocks, that is called page, and we are keep taking each page inside your main memory. So you have to divide your main memory also in blocks. You have to divide main memory in blocks, that each block or each part or each partition is called frame. Here we have a lot of frames. Depend on size of the memory, we are going to create number of frames. But one condition here is, in paging concept, size of your page and size of your frame should be same size. That is a one condition here. Now whatever we are doing is, here entire one page of this process we are going to take here, or another process we can move anywhere here, like this. Entire memory is used to store only pages, so page by page we are going to move in your main memory and we are going to store here. So if one of the process contain 4 page, that 4 page is stored anywhere, and again remaining slots are there, right? That is, the remaining frames are there. That's why we are going to take another process, pages of that process we are going to take in your memory. So a lot of process we can take here, page by page. Page wise we are going to take in your main memory. By that, CPU can execute that pages. Each pages that is executed by CPU. Here there is a chance of multi-programming. Many process we can move here and CPU will execute that process one by one. That is page by page. Here concept is your CPU will send one logical address. That logical address contain page number. Okay, CPU always generates logical address, but here in your main memory there we have only what? Physical address. Here we have physical address, but it generates logical address. So what to do? How to convert this logical to physical address? That concept is called memory management unit. For that purpose we are using this paging. See here, paging concept you already seen. Here for memory management purpose, that is, here unit contain page table. See here, this is the table we have. So that is a memory management unit part. So convert logical address to physical address. So CPU will generate logical address that contain page number. That page number is sent to memory management. That is your this is called page table. That page table contain one column is page number, another column is frame number. Frame number is related to main memory, page number related to your process. So CPU will send, that means CPU needs that particular page. That's why it asks that page, it requests that page, it demands for that page. That demand sent to your page table. Here we have page table here, that is, that particular page number is here and frame number. That means that page is saved in which frame, that number also there in here page table. So that particular page is saved in which frame, that we are number we are getting here, that number we are going to send to your main memory. By that main memory will take that process or a page to CPU for execution purpose. But one condition, another condition here, rule is, each process will contain one page table. Here we have 4 process, so 4 page tables are required, because here we are dividing one process into small blocks, that is called page. Each page table entry is here. Okay, so here 1 2 3 4 5 blocks, that means 5 pages are there. These 5 pages are stored in which frame, that is there in one page table. So one page table is related to one process. Like that, how many process is there, that much page table is required. So that all that page tables also stored in your main memory. Whenever it is required, that is captured here and then it is checked in this, that is CPU will check that page entry in this page table. So all the page tables related to process also stored in main memory itself. Here this is the concept of paging. Here now let us go for structure of the page table in the next slide. Here structure of the page table. So I told lot of pages are there in one process. So each process contain one page table. That page table contain page entry and frame entry. Here how to access that page table, how to access that, and what should be the structure of page table, how that page table should be visible to CPU. That thing we are going to see in this concept. We have 3 types here: hierarchical paging, hashed page and inverted page tables. We will see this one by one. First one, hierarchical paging concept. Hierarchical paging or hierarchical page table method. Here you can see we have CPU. That CPU will ask a that means that CPU will send one logical address. That logical address contain page number, also what is the size of the page, that is represented by D. In the previous slide I told size of the page and size of the frame both should be same. That is the condition. Here we are dividing memory in small blocks, that is called frame. We are dividing process in small blocks, that is called page. That both size of the frame and size of the page should be same. So here CPU will send logical address. Logical address contain page number as well as, that means required page number and page size. And that is sent to one of the block. Here we have one page table. Okay, so anyway in the previous concept it told logical address, we have page number that is searched in page table. But in this hierarchical paging concept you can see we have two page tables. One is outer page table, one is inner page table. Outer page table contain entry, inner page table also contain page entries. Now thing is, here whatever logical address is there, that is sent to, means page number is sent to your outer page table first. That particular page is searched in your page table. Now there in that particular page number we are going to get some address. Okay, we are going to get some address or some number that is sent to another page table. There that particular address whatever sent by the outer page table, that address, that means inside this we have one address. Okay, that address is sent to another page table. That means here we have to search for that particular address or number. Somewhere else here we are going to get our page number. This page number is here. So now here inside this page table, this here in this address we are going to get our frame number. We are not getting frame number here. Again I will repeat, outer page table we are getting one number or address. That address is searched in another page table. There we are getting frame number. That frame number is sent to your that means that frame number is sent to this block. That is what that frame number contains. One is F means frame number. What is a frame number? And it includes another one. What is that? Size of the frame. Anyway, size of the frame and size of the page is same. That's why we have this line here. Okay, so this frame number is here, frame size is here, and that is called physical address. Physical address contain frame number and it is called actually offset. Okay, that combinedly this is called physical address, and that is sent to your memory, and in the memory it searches for that particular frame, and here we have that frame. Inside this we have page, whichever page required by the CPU, that is here, and that is automatically sent to CPU for execution purpose. This is the concept of hierarchical paging. Now only one thing here, you can see this here, how to get this one logical address. Logical address is here we have calculation. Logical address is size is 32-bit. This is just example. If that logical address is 32-bit size, that means entire logical address is 32-bit. Okay, now page size also given. Page size is 4 KB. 4 kilobyte is the size of the page. Now what we have to do? We have to calculate what is P1 size, what is the P2 size, and what is the D size. So CPU will send that logical address, right? We have to find out the what is the logical format. P1 is there, P2 is there, D is there. So each size we have to calculate, but they given overall size, entire size of this is 32. But what is the size of the P1? What is the size of the P2? What is the size of the D? That we have to calculate. For that purpose, see, page size is given 4 KB. We have calculation. 4 KB is equal to 4 means what? 2 to the power of 2. That is a 4 into K means what? That is a kilo. Kilo is represented by 2 to the power of 10. You know that 1024. K means 1024. 1024 means 2 to the power of 10 is 1024 bytes. So now 2 to the power of 2 into 2 to the power of 10, that is the value of 4 kb. So to just add that 2 to the power of 2 plus this 2 whatever value 10 plus 2, here 2 to the power of 12 is the answer, right? 2 to the power of 12 represent 4 kb. 2 to the power of 11 represent 2 kb, right? Like that 2 to the power of 12 represent 4 kb. Now we are going to move this number, see 12, that is your D. Again I will repeat, this 12 is D size. So here we have D, 12 is your D. Then what is the remaining thing? So how to calculate that? Total is 32. You got 12. 12 is D size, right? So 12, how you got 12? They given page size 4 kb. 2 to the power of 2 is 4 into 2 to the power of 10 is K. So totally 2 to the power of 12. So 2 to the 12 is your D size. So 32 minus 12, you will get remaining number. That is a 20, right? Remaining is 20. Out of this 20, we have to go for P1 as well as P2. This combinedly, this is 20. So we have to divide equally. That is the concept here. P1 and P2 will get equal size. So 20 divided by 2. P1 is 10, P2 is 10, PD is 12. This is the logical address size. Remember this concept carefully. Also, we have two page table. One is outer page table, one is inner page table. Outer page table, inside this we will get one address, not frame number. That address is searched in inner page table. There we are going to get frame number. That frame number is sent to your memory. That means the physical address you are going to get in this. Okay. So this is the concept of hierarchical paging. Here efficiency is good. Now another one, we will go for second one, hashed page table. Again some almost concept is same. Here we have CPU. CPU will send logical address to the memory. Okay, but memory we have physical address here. Here it will send logical address, but we have physical address. In order to convert that, we have this concept that is called paging. That means page table concept. Okay, CPU will send, that means it will demand or it will request for particular page that is there in your logical address. See, this is your logical address that will contain page number and page size, or that is called your offset value. Okay, P and D. Now here we have P, right? That page number is sent to page table. But here one thing, they told hashed page table, so we are going to use one hash function. I think you know about hash function in other subjects. Many of the subjects in the previous semester also you studied about hash function. So I'm not going to explain that particular hash function. So P, your page number, is sent to hash function. That means here we have particular operation. That operation will perform on your page number. Then we will get one number. That number is searched in your hash page table. Okay. Again I will repeat, here page number is there in your logical address. That required page number, we are going to perform one operation on that page number, that is a hash function. That page number, then after that output we are getting one number. That number we are going to search. That means actually it is address. That address we are going to search in your hash page table. There I am going to get another format. That format is this one. Actually inside this I am getting one format. That format is P1, that means the page number, F1, that means frame number, and here one address. Okay, inside this I am getting one thing here like this. So P1 we have page number also, we have F1, that is a frame number, corresponding frame number is there, then address is there. Is that F1 is your frame number? No, it is not frame number, because you can see here they given another address 2000. Meaning of this is still we have to go next. That means this is not your answer, we have to go for 2000 for our answer. 2000 is the address. So inside page this hash page table we are getting one address, that is this one, or one format, we are getting this one. So here P1 F1 2000 is the address. We have to jump for that particular address in order to get our real answer. Now jump again, where we have to search 2000, here itself in the hash page table itself, search 2000 address. Okay, there in the particular 2000 address, another we are getting another format, this one. Okay, this one we are getting in that 2000. So see, check that P2 is there in that, F2 is there, next is nil. What is the meaning of nil? Nothing is there. So this is your end format, no need to jump again. Consider if we have here 1000, that means in the 2000 we are getting this one, there P2 F2 1000 is there. So 1000 meaning of that is we have to jump to 1000 address for another format. That means this is not end format, we have to jump it to 1000 address for another format. But here we have nil. Nil means actually this is your end format. So whatever frame number we have, that is your frame number. That means the required frame number. In this frame we have this page. Okay, so P2 F2 nil is there. So this is the last format, so no need to jump anywhere in the page table. So F2 is the answer. That F2 is sent to your memory as a physical address. Physical address contain your F2 and size of your frame size. So frame size or frame offset. What is the size of your frame? That is the D. That is always same as page size, and that is called a physical address. Frame and your size, that is sent to your memory. In the memory, in that particular frame F2, I will have our page, that is a P page is there, right? That is there in your F2 frame. That page we are going to send it to CPU, because CPU demanded that page. After searching, CPU will send that page to OS will send that page to CPU for execution purpose. This is a second method, that is a hash page table. This is a second method of structure of page table. This is another format of page table. Here, like this also we can build our page table. Third method we will go for, that is called inverted. But before that we have this slide. See, whatever I explained here, this is only for explanation purpose I drawn here. Okay, manually I drawn here only for explanation purpose. Now in exam follow this method, because in exam you can write this one also, there is no issues, but in your textbook they mention this diagram. Okay, try to remember this. If not, you can write this one also in exam. Okay, now we will go for third structure of page table, that is the inverted page table. So what do you mean by inverted page table? Here I will go for that same concept. Here we have CPU. CPU will send one logical address, but memory needs physical address, because here we have physical address. Logical address to physical address conversion, we need memory management unit. That memory management unit contain page table. So how to build that page table, that we are going to see in structure of the page table. So one of the method is inverting or inverted page table. Now in that CPU will send logical address. Logical address contain, see here, logical address contain page ID, sorry, process ID. P means process ID, and page number of that particular process, then size of the page. These three there in logical address. Again I will repeat, process ID, page number, and that is size of the page. That three things is contained in your logical address. So CPU will demand for that particular page through logical address. Now that logical address is sent to page table. Now here one format of the page table is different compared to previous. In the previous we have two, one is page number, another one is frame number, only two columns is there, right? But here we have somewhat different, that is we have inverted means inside your page table we have page number, outside your page table we have frame number, that's why it is inverted. But whatever in the previous condition, inside this page table we have frame number, outside the page table we have frame number. But here reverse, inside we have page number, outside we have frame number. Okay, remember this concept because this is important. Inverted page table, that page id and page number, process id and page number combinedly it is present inside your page table. So why process id required? So because a lot of pages are there in your main memory, right? That which page, so that page is related to which process, that we need. That's why page number here and process number, that is also there in your logical address, that is sent to your page table. Inside your page table you have that entry, what is that? Process id and p. You have to search where is your process id and where is your page number in entire page table. Search that. Once you got that answer here, now corresponding frame number you have to search. Okay, linearly you have to search here. Linear search method we are going to use here in the inverted page table method. So one by one it searches. When it reaches here, yeah, it is your required process id and page number is there here. So you will get this. So corresponding frame number is there here outside. That means outside the page table we have frame number. That corresponding frame number of that is sent to your physical address. That means memory we are going to send that frame number as a physical address. Physical address contain frame number, and see here it is represented by I, actually it is F. Okay, they represented by using I in your textbook. So F and D. F you will get here, D is size of the frame or size of the page, both are same actually. So here F is there, that F or frame number is sent as a physical address to memory. Memory in that particular frame we have page, that page is sent to CPU for execution purpose. That page is sent to CPU by the OS. OS will take care about that. So this is called inverted page table. I will go for once again for your reference. I written here, so you can see this. CPU will send one process P and D. P means it will contain page number. So actually this one PID and P both we have in this logical address. So it will search in the page table. So you can see page number also there, process ID also there. So whichever you want you have to select. Consider now presently I want page 3 of process 1. Page 3 is here, process 1 is here. See outside your page table here in this here we have frame number, that is a 3. 3 is your frame number. You need this frame. So take this and send it to your main memory. That main memory frame number here 3 means 3 or 4 means 4, whichever you want, that frame number plus here offset is the offset means size of your page or size of your frame, that is both are same actually. That's why here D and D. So that is added, and that act as a physical address, and that is sent to your main memory. Corresponding thing we are going to capture, corresponding page, and we are going to send it to CPU, not we, OS will send. Okay, then CPU will execute that. This is the process of inverted paging. Now in the previous slide we seen 3 types of structure of the page tables. Now very important concept, that is the segmentation part. Segmentation means see what is the difference between the paging and segmentation. Paging, entire process we are dividing into some pages, right? We may have we don't know how many pages it divides, so maybe 3 page, 4 page or 10 page, 100 page, like that entire process is divided page wise. Now what is the concept in the paging? So there we are not seeing what is there inside process, just we are dividing into pages. We are not seeing what is there in that page. We are not going to see how we have to divide. That means consider we have 100 line code. Once you divided, some 20 line code may be in the page 2, another remaining 80 line page is there in page 3. That may also possible, but we are not seeing anything whatever there in your process. We are just dividing your process into pages. We are not seeing any content present inside your process, just dividing. That concept is there in your paging, but segmentation is not like that. We are going to see what is there in your process. By seeing your process, content present in your process, we are going to divide. That is called segmentation. Carefully see this: memory management scheme that support for view of memory. Here we entire process is there, that we are going to divide into some segments. One is main memory, procedure, function, methods, objects, local variable, common block, stack, symbol table, array. Like that we are going to divide entire your process into small blocks. Okay, so that is we have to check that, because in the previous blankly we are going to divide, right? Here not sorry, blindly we are going to divide, not blankly, blindly we are going to divide that previous concept, that is a page. But here we have to see what is the content present in your process, then you have to divide that process. That is called segmentation. Content wise we are going to divide. Now see here, this is one process. Okay, this is one process. Now one of the page contain, or it is not called as page. In the segmentation part we are going to see content, right? That's why it is called segment. Okay, so one of the block is called segment, that contains subroutine. One of the block in the process contains stack, that is called another segment. One of the block in the process contains symbol table, so that is another segment. Main program is there in another block, that is called another segment. Like that, segment wise we are dividing your process. Segment, that is a content wise, or segment wise we are dividing your process. Now how to load that in memory? See, here we have your process. We are divided into 4 segments, 1 2 3 4. Now you have to save that one segment in main memory. How to save that? See, 1 is saved in this part here, we saved here. 2 is saved here, 3 is saved here, 4 is saved here. Remaining thing is either blank or used by any other thing. Okay, either it is blank or it is used by some other process. But related to this process we have 4 segment, that 4 segment we stored here. But where we stored, corresponding frame number we need, right? Where we stored corresponding frame number. How to save that? In the previous concept we had page table, but we don't have page table concept because here segment is there. That's why here concept is segment table. You can see this segment table. Entire your process is divided into small blocks, that is called segments. Each segment there is a content is there, that is a main program is one segment, symbol table is one segment, stack is one segment. Like that we are going to divide content wise. Then you are going to save these segments in your main memory. Now I will show that. First one, segment 0, this one, segment 0 subroutine, it contains subroutine. I am going to save this segment in one main memory. See, here I stored in this part because this is now free, so I am going to save here. Now once you saved, how to get that address, how to get where it is stored, how to get frame number. So frame number we are going to see that by using segment table. Segment table contain base and limit. You know the base and limit concept in the starting of the this module. So base means starting address. 1400 is a starting address, that is a base. And what is the total length of this? That is your limit. Total length of this frame is your limit. So 1000 is your limit. So 1400 plus 1000, 2400. That is the last address. 1000 is a limit length and 1400 is a starting address. So in this block we stored our segment 0. You are going to represent in your page table. So segment 0 is there in 1400 base and 1000 limit. And I will go for another one, segment 4. Segment 4 is there in 4700. See, segment 4 we stored. Which one is segment 4? Symbol table, that is stored in 4700 plus 1000 limit, because limit is this length 4700 plus 1000, that is a 5700. so this is your total part of segment 4. This is one frame. Okay, like this we are going to divide the segment wise and we are going to store in your memory. Segment may be different size, you can see this. Stack is small size, symbol table is another size, this is another size, segment may be different size. So we are going to save entire segment in memory. We are not dividing again segments. So entire segment we are going to save in your memory. So you can see this, we have this here, we are not going to see any size of your frame, just size of your frame also different. This frame is different, this frame size is different, this frame size is different. So frame size we are not going to concentrate in this part, that is only required in the page concept. But here size of the segment also not required, size of the page also not required. One point. Second point is page table concept in the previous, here segment table concept is there. Then third point is, here we are dividing your entire thing based on concept, that is a process we are dividing into based on content. Okay, one content, like content we are going to divide, subroutine is one content, so this is one segment, this is another segment, this is another segment, like this we are going to divide. But there we are not going to see anything present inside the process, just we are going to blindly divide that entire process into pages. That concept is called paging. That is the third point. These three are very important difference between segmentation and paging. Now this is the just diagram, block diagram, or we can flow diagram, you can call it as flow diagram. So CPU will send, how in the previous case logical address contain what? It contain page number, but here segment number. That segment number is sent to your segment table. Segment table we have base and limit. That base and limit is searched based on segment number. Which is segment number? See, this one is a segment number. And base and limit is searched in your segment table, and that corresponding base and limit is sent and that is added here. That added part is searched in your memory. You will get that particular frame and particular segment that is sent to CPU for execution purpose. This is the concept of segmentation. So till now we completed segmentation and paging of the module 3 concept. Thank you.